Where in the world are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. Before we dive into this heartwarming story, hit subscribe so you'll never miss the most courageous dog tales we share every day. What if the most dangerous criminals hide in plain sight, and the only thing standing between them and millions of dollars is a dog no one believed in? This is the story of a golden hero named Sarge, a man who trusted his gut, and a mission that proved true strength isn't about force, but about a pure and unwavering heart. The story of Liam and Sarge is more than just a tale of a drug bust at an airport. It's a profound lesson in humanity and instinct. It teaches us that true courage isn't always a roar, but sometimes a quiet, unwavering heart, like Sarge's. It's a powerful reminder that we should never judge a person or a dog by their initial appearance. Liam saw beyond Sarge's gentle demeanor, and in doing so, he found a partner who would never let him down. Now, imagine that. The air at Kennedy International was a cold, sterile breath of exhaust fumes and ambition, a stark contrast to the quiet tension of the night. For most, it was just a stopover, a gateway to a new life or a fleeting escape. But for Agent Liam, it was his world. He was a veteran Customs and Border Protection officer, a man whose weary eyes held the weight of 1,000 untold stories. His partner was a golden-coated Labrador named Sarge, a dog nobody else wanted. He was too gentle, too soulful for the brute force of police work. But Liam saw something different in him. He saw a kindred spirit, a quiet strength that resonated with his own. Their bond was forged not in training drills, but in shared moments of silence, in the unspoken understanding of two beings who had been misunderstood. Liam, a black man who'd faced his own struggles, knew what it felt like to be judged by appearances. Sarge, with his gentle demeanor, was a living testament to the fact that true strength wasn't about aggression, but about an unwavering sense of purpose. Their nightly routine was a silent dance, a patrol through the transit lounges, a world of hurried footsteps and whispered goodbyes. The hum of the airport was a familiar song, lulling them into a sense of normalcy. But tonight, the melody was off-key. Sarge, usually a model of calm, suddenly became agitated near a line of luggage, his low growl a quiet warning. The hair on Liam's arms stood on end. He knew that sound. It was the sound of a storm brewing, and they were standing right in the middle of it. Danced hunk, silent sleep, bright terror. Sarge's nose led them to 3 identical suitcases, an eerie triplet of deception. They belonged to a trio of travelers, a woman and 2 men, all presenting seemingly legitimate passports from a small, unassuming country. They looked like any other travelers, tired, a little disoriented, and completely unremarkable. This was their first mistake. They were using the gray man strategy, a tactic of blending in, of being so invisible you become unnoticeable. They had chosen a late-night flight to a small connecting airport, hoping to slip through unnoticed. Their second mistake was underestimating the quiet power of a Labrador's nose and a man's intuition. Liam's team found the bags and the search began. He unzipped the first suitcase, a sense of dread pooling in his stomach. What he saw was a brilliant, twisted misdirection. Not bricks of cocaine or bags of pills, but neatly folded towels and children's clothing. This was the first plot twist, a classic smuggling method where the drugs are not in packages but are chemically infused into the fabric itself. A seemingly harmless way to transport millions of dollars worth of narcotics. The clock was ticking. The suspects were using a transit lounge to evade capture. The high stakes of the operation, the frustration of dealing with a sophisticated smuggling ring, all weighed on Liam's mind. He knew they were in a race against time. With the bags in hand, Liam felt the weight of his convictions. He knew, deep in his gut, that Sarge wasn't wrong. Yet his boss, Marcus, was not convinced. "Liam, we don't have a damn thing. It's towels and kids' clothes. You're wasting resources," Marcus snapped. This was the moment of truth. Liam looked at Sarge, his loyal partner, and saw an unwavering belief in his eyes. He knew he had to trust his gut. He had to trust his dog. "Just give us a few minutes, sir," Liam said, his voice calm despite the storm brewing inside. He took a small swatch of fabric from a towel and placed it in an ion scanner, a device that could detect trace amounts of narcotics. The machine whirred to life, its green light a beacon of hope. But it was not enough. The ultimate proof came from the neck test, a simple chemical reaction that turns a telltale color in the presence of drugs. The reaction was immediate, a shocking, vibrant purple. The room went silent. The truth was out. The towels were not just towels, but $1 million drug mule. The suspects were taken into custody. The woman, Hunter, and the 2 men, desperate low-level mules, told a heartbreaking story. They were not hardened criminals but people from a country ravaged by poverty, lured by the promise of a better life. This part of the story brings a sense of empathy, a deeper understanding of the human cost of the drug trade. Hunter, a young woman pregnant and alone, was a pawn in a larger game. Her pregnancy was a cruel twist of fate that made her an even more valuable asset to the drug ring. The final plot twist came when Hunter gave birth in prison, a moment that highlighted the brutal reality of their choices, a tragic consequence of a moment of weakness. The ultimate consequence was not just a prison sentence, but a life forever changed. It concludes with a thoughtful reflection from Liam. The real reward isn't the money, the headlines, or the praise. It's the knowledge that we've kept these drugs from reaching our community, from destroying families. This message of hope and resilience is for the audience, many of whom have personal experiences with the devastation caused by drugs. The final scene returns to Liam and Sarge. There is no grand ceremony, no medal. Sarge's reward is a simple play session with his favorite squeaky toy. The true reward is the bond they share and the satisfaction of a job well done. The video ends with a powerful message. Even in the darkest of places, a small act of bravery, a determined heart, and the right partner can make a world of difference. It's a story about resilience, about fighting for what's right, and about finding light in the darkest of places. In a world full of doubt and skepticism, Liam's faith in Sarge's instincts was the key that unlocked the truth. It's a lesson for all of us, to believe in our own gut feelings and to trust those who have our back, even when others don't see what we see. And what about Hunter? Her story is a tragic reminder that crime often has roots in desperation and a desire for a better life. She wasn't a hardened criminal, but a victim of circumstance, caught in a system that preys on the vulnerable. Her fate and the fate of her child are a heartbreaking consequence of a moment of weakness, a powerful warning about the true human cost of the drug trade. So, as you go about your day, remember this story. Remember Liam, a man who saw potential where others saw none. Remember Sarge, the gentle dog who proved that true strength is in your heart. And remember Hunter, whose story reminds us to have compassion and to fight for a world where people don't have to make such desperate choices. If this story resonated with you, if you were moved by Liam and Sarge's journey, and if you want to hear more stories of everyday heroes who make a difference, then hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to like this video and leave a comment below. What was your favorite moment in this story? What's a time you had to trust your gut instinct? Your support helps us tell more stories like this, stories of hope, resilience, and courage. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.